So good morning, grade 8. I'm teacher Vincent. So for today lesson, we're going to discuss factoring terms with a common factor. So in your grade 7, you already tackled this multiplication of monomials, binomials, and so on. So for today, in your grade 8, so this is the first lesson. So you're going to factor naman. So it is just a reverse of the multiplication of polynomial. So for example, we have so before the example pala, here are your objectives. So after this lesson, you're expected to recall multiplication of monomial, identify the common factor of a polynomial, and factor polynomial whose terms have a common monomial factor. And so for example, we have, so this is the recall on multiplying polynomials. For example, we have 3a, multiply it to 4a. Therefore, the answer would be, let's just recall, multiply the numerical coefficient, which is 3 times 4, that is equal to 12. Now, copy the variable, which is a, and what would be the exponent of a. So, in multiplication, exponents will be added. Therefore, 1 plus 1, it is 2. Therefore, in multiplication, it is equal to 12a squared. So, in otherwise, this would be the factoring. So, in factoring naman, kabaliktaran siya. So, instead of writing 12a squared, ito naman yung factor natin ngayon. So, 12a squared. So, 12a squared, what would be the factor of 12? We have 2 times 6. And what else? We have the 3 times 4. So, medyo maliwanag siya doon. Okay. So, ano yung pwede natin gamitin? In factoring, you must use the prime numbers. So when we say prime numbers are numbers that are only divisible by or only multiplicable by itself. So kapag pinactor natin si 12, we have 2 and 6. Sa 6 naman, it is factorable by 3 and 2. Therefore, ano natin, we can use 3 and 2 times 2, which is 4. So, pwede natin gamitin yan. Pwede rin naman si 3 times 4 na kaagad. Therefore, magiging sagot natin dyan would be 3 and 4. So, how about the variable? So, we have a squared. So, ilang a ang meron dyan? Dalawang a. So, kapag pinactor natin yung 12a na yan, we have 3 times 4 times a times a. So, kunin natin si 3, saka si a doon. Therefore, it becomes 3a. And then, 4 and a doon becomes 4a. So, magiging sagot natin would be 3a becomes 3a times 4a. So, kabaliktaran lang siya ng multiplication of monomial. So, let's try to have another example. Just natin konti dahil maliwanag. Ayan. Ayan. So we have here 2a multiplied by 6a. So paano naman yan? This is just a recall on multiplication again. 2 times 6, that is equal to 12. The same as the first example. A times a, we have a squared. Therefore, they are almost the same. So there are many possible factors of a algebraic expression. So pwede natin to, we have, so here are the possible factors. First one, we have 2a times 6a. Second one, we also have 3a times 4a. They're almost the same. And a lot more. Pwede rin naman na maging 3 times 4a squared. Pwede rin na ganyan. So, it might be a variety of answers depending on the student, or depending on you on how are you going to factor it. So there are possible factors naman. These factors are all correct. And so let's go now to factoring with a common factor. So let's try to have this. 24x raised to 4 and 16x cubed y squared. So what would be the factor of these two algebraic expressions? So first step is to get, or is to find the greatest common factor. So the greatest common factor of 24 and 16 is what? So try natin. We have 24, we have 16. So what would be the greatest common factor? Let's use a factor 3. So 24, what is the factor of 24? We have 2 times 12. And then 12 can be factor pa. So 6 times 2. And then 6 can be factored as 3 times 2. How about 16? We have 2 times 8. 8 can be factored to 2 times 4. And 4 can be factored out into 2 times 2. So dapat lahat ng dulo is a prime number. So let's list down. So sa 24, we have the factor 2 times 3 times 2 times 2. So check natin. 1, 2, 3, 4. How about the 16? We have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So in getting the greatest common factor, you must get all the factors that are the same with 24 and 16. So the factors are 2, we have 2 and 2. We cannot get 3 and 2 because they are not the same. Therefore, the factor of 24 and 16 is 2 times 2 times 2, which is equal to 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is equal to 8. Therefore, the common factor of 24 and 16 is 8. And so the greatest common factor is equal to 8. So after getting the common factor, Ayan. So after getting the common factor, ang gagawin naman natin is to get the variables. Okay. So 8 now is the greatest common factor. So now, ano yung common factor sa kanila? So, si first variable, ay si first equation ba, do this contain y? Siyempre, wala, di ba? So there are, or I should say, there is no y squared here. Therefore, let's get the common factor in x. So the common factor for x cubed and x raised to 4 is x raised to 3 or x cubed. Bakit? If we factor this out, we have 2 times 3 times 2 times 2 times. How many x are there? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ganito lang din. This is the other way of getting it. So 16, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times. How many x are there? Therefore, we have 3 x's. And how many y's are there? There are 2. So get all the factors that are the same with each of the following algebraic expression. Therefore, we have 2, 2, 2, x, x, x. So, wala nang kasama si x dito. Therefore, hindi na siya isasama. Therefore, the common factors are 2 times 2 times 2 times x times x times x. In other words, ang factoring is just like getting the common or yung kapareha na factor, kaparehang factor ng each term. So ha, ulitin ko lang, it is the common or kapareha na factor ni term. So, try na natin. 2 times 2, that is equal to 4, times 2, that is equal to 8. Then how many x's are there? There are 3x. Therefore, the answer is 8x cubed. This is the common. This is the common factor. Ito yung common factor. Okay, so let's try to have another example. So find the greatest common factor of 72a squared b squared and 120 a cubed b, ayan, a cubed b. So let's try to list down all the possible factors of 72. So using factor 3, we have 72 and 120. We have 2 times. So yan ang pinakamadali, 2. So 2 times what? So 72 divided by 2, we have 36. Am I right? Okay, so that is 36. So 36 can be factored into 2 times what? What? 18. Tama ba? Ayan, so 18. Then 18 can be factored into 2 times 6. Tama? I should say 9. 9 is factorable into 3 times 3. And so kapag nilist natin dito, 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. And then the variable, we have ilang A? There are 2 A's. A, A. And how many B? B, B. So there are 2 B. How about in 120? So 2 times what? 60. 60 divided by 2, or 2 times what is 30? 30 is divisible or factorable by 5. Or let's try 10 times 3 na lang. And 10 is factorable by 2 and 5. Therefore, let's list down all the factors. We have 2 times 2 times 3 times 2 times 5. Ayan. So, erase na natin to. We have how many A's? 3. 1, 2, 3. How many B? There are only 1. So, encircle all the factors that are the same with the other term or the second algebraic expression. We have 2, 2. What else? We have 3, 3. We have 2, 2 also. How about 3 and 5? No. Okay. How about the variables? We have A. We have A. And we have B. So disregard B and A because they don't have the same factor with the other algebraic expression. So basta yung magkakaparehas lang ang kunin. Therefore, the common factor or the greatest common factor for 72a squared b squared and 120 a cubed b is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times A times A times B. So sum it up. We have 2 times 2 is equal to 4 times 2 is equal to 8. 8 times 3 is what? So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. It is 24a squared b. Therefore, the answer or the greatest common factor for these two variable, two algebraic expression is 24a squared b. Okay. So let's try to have another example. So let's try to factor this. 3x plus 12. So paano naman ang ganito? So we have 3x plus 12. So what would be the common factor for this? So we're going to factor it out. First things first is to check the numerical coefficient each term. So there are two terms, therefore it is not a monomial na, it is indeed a binomial. So this is the first term, 3x. It is separated by a positive or a negative or plus or minus sign to become another term. Therefore, the second term would be 12. So what would be the common factor for the first term and the second term? So is it 2 divisible by 3? Yes. So therefore, 3 and 12 are both common in number 3. Tama? So, in order you to factor this out, get the common number for this, or common factor, I should say, for the two terms, then you can now eliminate it. So 3 is eliminated, therefore 3x divided by 3 is x na lang kasi tinanggal mo na si 3. You already removed 3. How about for the second term? Plus 12 divided by 3, we have 4. Therefore, this is now your final answer. So let's try to check. 3 times x, we have 3x. 3 times 4, we have 12. So using distributive property as checking, you can now check if it is the same. Therefore, if it is the same as your answer 3 times x plus 4 is indeed correct. So that's it for today. I hope you've learned something. If you have questions regarding our lesson, just notify me or message me. So that's it for today. Hope you hope gets naman. So if you have any concerns, I can create another video. So see you on live discussions. Bye.